Hey, yeah, folks, we have to applaud the Curacao football team. We have to give them a shout out. As Jamaicans, we must supportive of them, even though they have defeated us, right? For the what would you call it? In order, they were the side who knocked us out of the World Cup qualifier. You know what I mean? So Jamaica should not express any hate or envy towards Curacao. You know what I'm saying? Because we were to score. We were supposed to defeat them in order for us Jamaicans to make it to the World Cup, and we failed. We got countless of chances, but as I always say, that Jamaica is cursed from the day 99 or 98 when we had disrespected Rene Simoes. You know what I mean? We disrespected that man, and as I always say, that's a curse on us, why we failed so miserably to make it to the World Cup ever since. You know what I mean? Because Rene Simoes, the Brazilian coach, he was the one who found an interest in coaching us Jamaica, right? And his plan worked perfectly. But we never were disciplined enough and respectable enough and grateful enough and appreciative enough. You know what I'm saying? That is why. And someday God may remove that curse and lift that burden off our shoulder, and for us to learn our lesson on how to be grateful, or else he may smite us again with another punishment. So hopefully Jamaica perform better the next World Cup. You know what I mean? So we have to applaud Curacao. Yeah. Shout out to Curacao. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, their name is on the tongue of everyone now, especially in America there and across the world. Because this match was a phenomenal match. No goal was scored. And, Curacao, they had so many amazing attempts and so many amazing saves, and we got to give as much credit to their opponent, who was, let me see what side they played. They had played against Ecuador, right? Ecuador. That's the side. And Ecuador are strong. And they have always been a favorite of Jamaicans, Like us Jamaicans, we always talk good and speak good of the Ecuador, the Ecuador team when it comes to football, They always display a lot of strength and fitness. They could run for hours. And we acknowledge that and respect them for that. We have played against them and played in league with them, and we've seen how they perform, and they're an excellent team. So shout out to Ecuador. Hopefully they perform well as well throughout the World Cup. But right now it's for Curacao, and why I want to applaud Curacao, especially, because they had defeated us, right, in the World Cup qualifier. So we have to respect Curacao and try to support them and see them all the way through. Just as 82, all of the countries within the Caribbean Sea that's closer to we Jamaicans, you know what I'm saying? Is Cuba in the World Cup? Or Cuba do have a football team, right? That would be something, because we've seen where Senegal, they're going through a lot of stress, maybe politically, because what is happening with them, they haven't received their funds that they deserve for winning the qualifying cup to the World Cup. They're one of the best in Africa. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things are happening to them. They're experiencing. The hotel that they booked for them at the World Cup was deplorable. undermined. You know what I'm saying? They can't get no food catering to them or their needs at this hotel. They have to go out and get food, and they're struggling financially because they were expecting the funds from the victory that they had claimed. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. We're gonna go in all of that though, separate and apart from all of that. Let us read this, what it's saying. So this post is from the Tropics Online, and they playing the FIFA sound music, the 2026 FIFA World Cup song that was drafted, Shout out to Shensia and all the other entertainers and celebrities that is a part of the World Cup, and participating and being paid for, representing. And, like with the likes of I Show Speed as well, we've seen him in WrestleMania or the wrestling WWE or F, whatever. So shout out to I Show Speed, Kai Sinat, all the major streamers and successful, entertainer, podcasters, vloggers, you name it, footballers. So let us read this and see what it says. So the post read that history has been made for Curacao, right? The Caribbean nation secured its first ever point at a FIFA World Cup after battling to a hard-fought 0-0 draw against Ecuador in Group E. After suffering a heavy defeat in their tournament debut, Curacao showed incredible resilience and determination to earn a result on football biggest stage, right? On football biggest stage. The point keeps their hopes alive, right? And major milestone moment for the nation's football history, right? A night Curacao fans will never forget. And us Jamaicans, well, I for one will never forget. And we should never forget. You know what I mean? So shout out to the Curacao for such a major success. And that is why, I'm actually more ecstatic and elated about Curacao getting this point than celebrating the draw and celebrating Ecuador being there at the World Cup, And they're no stranger to the World Cup. Ecuador, those people are footballers. They're known great ballers, you know what I'm saying? They know how to read the ball game. So yeah, Curacao just made World Cup history with first ever point. They had fought hard to, defend, and they had fought attempting to, they try very hard to score, but Ecuador, they are very resilient as well and determined. So let's see what the other slide says. Okay, so this show the result of the match, right? And it shows you their flag, right? And make sure to follow them, because here you got Curacao flag, right? And Ecuador. This is Ecuador, guys. 0-0 draw, full time today, right? FIFA World Cup 2026 group stage. Yeah, that's crazy. We got some more things to show you though. Look. Hold up. Yeah, folks. Now this is Curacao goalkeeper. Now he is just as amazing as the other goalkeeper we've seen who got rewarded. I gotta show him too. I'm not familiar with his name much, because I think he's what, Dutch? No, he ain't Dutch. I'm just rhyming. Now, this goalkeeper representing for and playing for Curacao, his name is Eloy Room, right? Eloy Room makes history with 15 saves for Curacao. Oh my goodness, that has to be a very intense match for one keeper to have to save so many shots on target, because normally it's usually a lesser amount of shots make the target, or whenever most of the shots hit target, it's an easy stop or block or catch for the goalkeeper. But once you're seeing them advertising the 15 save made by Eloy Room. You know, it wasn't no easy save, as you seen in the picture depicted here. You know, he had fought. Look at this. Eloy in the full white there and black stripe. Shout out to Eloy Room. We got to make room for him. Now, Donald Trump needs to issue these great goalkeeper green cards and citizenship so they could go and visit whenever they have a like. You know what I'm saying? Because they're stars now in America. And I hope Eloy Room has a social media account so he could receive his million of followers. You know what I'm saying? Because the World Cup is massive, yo. It's massive. Now let's see the other slide with Eloy Room. Okay, so this slide reads that Eloy Room makes history with 15 saves against Ecuador, the second most ever in World Cup history. Oh my goodness. Yes, he's famous now. He got to be famous. And he looked very strong. He built different. You can see. You wouldn't expect people from Curacao to be so strong. Look at his arms. His arms show a lot of muscle strength there, upper body strength. You know, you can see his head is very strong. Like this nigga look like he be in the boxing ring every day, or he's working out hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that he made the team, and I'm glad their team made it to the World Cup, and I'm glad that Jamaica had failed to defeat them. You know, so shout out to Curacao again. You know, yay! I'm very proud of you guys, and I hope my Jamaican citizens are just as I am. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to try to bring all the relevant news, reviews, interviews, you know, that would be about Haiti, Curacao, Brazil, all of the countries that are close within a certain proximity, you know, to Jamaica, or share similar culture, likings, or whatever the reason is. You know, because I be working with the universe, and you know, I'm just a vessel being used. You know, and shout out to Karma, because Karma used us all too. You know, so yeah. Did we read this post? Let us read this post and see what it says, because I think it's saying something down here, right? So the post read that Eloy Room created World Cup history as Curacao secured their first point on football biggest stage. Yeah, I love the blue and yellow combination, you know. The 37-year-old goalkeeper produced a sensational performance, making 15 saves against Ecuador, the second most ever recorded in a World Cup match. Only Tim Howard has made more saves in a single World Cup game. Okay? So they're saying Eloy Room's heroic help Curacao battle to a historical draw, earning the smallest nation ever to qualify for the World Cup, their first point in a tournament history. You know, a legendary performance for a legendary moment. People forgive my reading, but my screen is cracked, and I've mentioned it in a lot of video. But if you're new here, then you need to know. So it's difficult for me to see some of the words, you know. Yeah, so that's what it says, that only one goalkeeper had saved more goals in one match than our boy here, Eloy Room. And the name of that goalkeeper who had managed to save more than 15 serious goals, right, is a goalkeeper named Tim Howard. You know what I mean? I don't know which side or team he plays for, country or club, whatever. You know, so we're going to look at the last slide here and move on to a next. You know, wow, look at that beautiful pic. Wow. This is amazing. Look at the stadium. Look at the Curacao fans. No, that is I think we're seeing the Ecuador fans in yellow. Damn. So the Curacao people, they were under an amount of immense pressure, crazy immense pressure. Look at the Ecuador fans, because Ecuador is known for football, so their fan base is quite large. And I'm sure that they were the favorites. Ecuador were the favorites. But I would love to see Curacao win the World Cup, make it to the final. Go Curacao, we love y'all, and great work. You know what I'm saying? Astonishing work. Continue, and God be with you guys. Keep the mental, keep focus, and I hope you guys keep in accord mentally. Try to always keep in accordance mentally, so you're all in one accord, like Christ and his disciple. Especially out there on the field. Y'all should be able to think alike and to move alike and to know how to get the groove and the rhythm and the stride in your run. You know what I'm saying? Yes, your offensive part of the game, and defensive as well. You know? So this is an amazing picture here we're seeing. Shout out to Eloy Room. He's a superstar now. And I'm sure more stars will arise from Curacao and Ecuador and a lot more of the team that is here at the World Cup. You know what I'm saying? So hold on, guys. Yeah, folks. Now, this is what has been occurring for the Senegal team, and it's so sad to see. And that Senegal is proven to be one of the strongest team now. After all the losses they have been going through, with not receiving their money and still playing great out there. And when I said the losses that they're going through, I'm not talking about matches. They're one of the best in Africa. They're on top of their game, But I'd have to show you some of the comments of what people are saying here in the comments, because some people are satisfied and think that it's karma getting back at them. You know what I'm saying? While others believe that they're the greatest. And to me, for one, definitely they are one of the greatest, because after what they are suffering now and still playing their heart and soul and their hardest out there, we must congratulate them and applaud them. Senegal. Yeah, it's a World Cup, and they're African, so we got to stick and be as one, support each other. Now, the post from the Tropic reads that Senegal World Cup preparation have reportedly been thrown into turmoil, meaning problems, with multiple issues emerging from inside the Teranga Lion camp ahead of their crucial clash with Norway. Okay? Okay, so according to reports, players are still waiting on bonus payments linked to previous achievements, and that would be the World Cup qualifying, match that they had won the tournament. So so they haven't received the the bonus payment linked to previous achievements, while concern have also been raised about the team hotel accommodation and training condition. Some players have reportedly resorted to ordering food from outside due to dissatisfaction with the catering provided. Oh my goodness. While the national team's head chef was allegedly not included in the delegation to the United States. Damn, that's crazy. So their chef seemed to have not made his way into the US, because a lot of restriction and scrutiny, you know what I mean? A lot of scanning and, technological problem with these, searches and documentation and all of that to make it to the US and the World Cup. A lot of hassle and, problems. So, yeah. So adding to the uncertainty reports, claim head coach. Yeah, so adding to the uncertainty report, claim head coach Papita is still without a formal contract. And what is this? And has gone several months. Yeah, so that's their coach, the Senegal coach, their head coach. He is still without a formal contract and has gone several months without receiving a salary, you know, that concern regarding his contract situation had surfaced before the tournament. Although the Senegal, what is this? The Senegal Football Federation previously denied that it had affected the team's travel plans or unity. You know what I mean? So with Senegal fighting to keep their World Cup spirit alive, the federation will be hoping these off do not impact performances on the pitch. Yes, so the coach and the federation, they're hoping that, the team remains determined and play their hearts out despite not receiving their salary bonuses from previous victories. You know what I'm saying? And I apologize again for the crack screen that caused me to unable to and not seeing the words. So let's look at the other slides, you know. So this is the Senegal football team, the footballers. Senegal's World Cup camp is facing an internal crisis. Multiple problems and dysfunctions are being reported within the squad. For one, players' bonuses still not paid. Chosen hotel deemed unworthy for a team of this level. That is so correct. Players ordering meal from outside due to catering insufficiency. National team's head chef was not sent to the US. And their head coach, Ta, is still without contract and salary for the World Cup for several months. I don't know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? But that is how it is. Let's see if there's any more. Yeah, so we got more on the Curacao goalkeeper who was awarded gift by the World Cup and FIFA, Football Federation. So Eloy Room, he won man of the match after historical 15 save master class saves. You know what I'm saying? Now the post read that Eloy Room has etched his name into World Cup history. The 37-year-old produced an incredible 15 saves against Ecuador, the most ever recorded by a goalkeeper in a 90-minute World Cup match. Uh, Earning FIFA's Man of the Match award. Right. His heroic display helped Curacao to secure a historical point and delivered one of the greatest goalkeeping performances the World Cup has ever seen. 15 save, one historic night. Now, this is just okay. So I can imagine how Ecuador is like, how they probably feeling, especially some of them, because imagine no one won the match, but one of the team is being celebrated, and the match end 0-0. But F it, I'm for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for it. Go Curacao. Yeah, go Curacao. Go Curacao. Yeah, and there's some good people. They look like some good people. Shout out to the Curacao. I don't know if I call them Curacode. Yeah, Curacode. You know what I mean? So here's some shots filmed from the match. You can tell that the goalkeeper, Eloy Room, was very exhausted. Look at him exhausted here. You can tell he's very exhausted. And this big guy here shouting and yelling. you know, and he's getting support. Probably the ball had hit him hard there. I caught him off guard. You know what I mean? Because it's not easy being a goalkeeper with them balls being kicked at incredible speed, at some lightning speed. You know what I mean? Mach speed. That's crazy. So he has been gifted and awarded. He should be very, excited because I am. You know, let us skip to the next slide. So here he is again, in his number one. We're number one. And number one. Yeah. But why so much tattoo and cross? Damn, I don't like seeing the tattoos. But shout out to him though. You know what I mean? He looks all them gym guys, they love them tattoos. They go in the gym and they got their muscles and I guess it's cool for them and they feel much better with the tattoos. But I'm not really for it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but shout out to Eloy Room because he's chosen. God has managed to bless him, you know. Hopefully he can do some great inspiring to the nation and to the world, you know. Here he is, fold in a fetus position, like he's in the womb, but he's actually giving God thanks, and just taking a time out to meditate just for a second. Yeah. So this is crazy, yo. Yeah, congratulations to Curacao. And this is the Burna Boy song playing. They got. Yeah, and Shakira. Day. Yeah. So this is some awesome news, guys. Let's see if there's any more. Oh my goodness. Here he just answered my question. Well, not my question, but I had said earlier, not too long ago, that I hope he does something great with, his success and victory. And he has already done it. But look what he has done here. The goalkeeper, Curacao goalkeeper, Eloy Room, he had dedicated a historic World Cup performance to late Curacao goalkeeper Jarzino. Oh my goodness. That is very, you know, passionate of him, very grateful of him. He has a great soul, a great heart, for to do this. He remembers the ones that was probably before him or that was amongst him, you know what I'm saying? And maybe the spirit of Jarzino was out there with him, because that's how life goes. We strengthen each other, even in life or in death. So the post reads that after helping Curacao secure their first ever World Cup point with a record-breaking performance, Eloy Room revealed that the result was dedicated to Jarzino, the Curacao goalkeeper who had passed away 7 years ago. Damn, may his soul rest in peace. Jarzino, we love you, bro. So our goalkeeper here from Curacao, Eloy Rooms, managed to save 15 masterclass saves, that will go down in the Hall of Fame. Okay, not the Hall of Fame, but in World Cup history. But for him, this moment was about commemorating and memory. Hold on, guys. Let me get this. Okay, this moment was about more football. It was a tribute, you know? It was a tribute to a fellow goalkeeper. Memory continues to inspire Curacao football community. Yeah, that's awesome. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Eloy Room and rest up Jarzino. You know what I'm saying? Who had passed 7 years ago. Let's see if there's any more. Okay, so guys, we got more on the Senegal matter. Senegal are going through crisis at the World Cup, right? Now, the post is from the Goal, right? GOAL account on Instagram, username Goal, right? So the post read that Senegal national team are going through a rough patch off the field at the World Cup. Players are still owed their prize money for winning the Africa Cup of Nations and for qualifying for the World Cup. So that's two bonuses money there. There Okay, so there are complaints about the low quality hotel that was booked for their training camp in the USA. They also didn't bring the team head chef because of tight budget allocated by the federation, resulting in players ordering um their own food, trying to eat healthy. Now Papeta, their head coach, is working today without a contract and still being owed 6 months, of pay. They're owed 6 months of pay. Now let us take y'all through these slides. Shout out to the Senegal players. They are warriors. We love you, bro. Jamaicans are here and the world is here to support you all. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, let's go to the slides. Here, very strong black men, player bonuses still have not been paid. There you go. Okay, the team hotel has been deemed not up to standard. Damn, what is this, man? That's how they treat the black people. It had to be blacks, man. The team chef did not travel to the World Cup. And this sums it all up with what we have been reading about what Senegal have been going through. You know what I'm saying? Now, several players are ordering outside food due to poor catering. Damn. Man, I don't understand. Damn. There. This is their manager, their head coach. Papeta is still working without a contract. Strong black man. Would make a good movie star. A good American black star. You know what I'm saying? He has a great image. Like Idris Elba. So the post from the Goal read that we post everything about the World Cup all day long. So that's it, guys. That's what we get. 40 minutes of information about Curacao victory. Celebrated and awarded the goalkeeper for the 15 saves. And we got some situation and info about Senegal and the struggle that they're facing now currently and haven't been paid. But I strongly believe that they'll be getting paid very soon now that we are exposing and broadcasting the information. So stay prayed up, guys. We love you. World Cup.